Now we're going to talk about the baseball instruction and baseball activities side of the academy. In this part, there should always be a point of emphasis, something that the campers did not know when they first arrived to the facility. We want to provide them with something that they can learn about the game every single time they walk into our facility. So there always should be a point of emphasis. Whatever within the itinerary that the senior director lays out, whenever you're doing baseball things and whatever part of the baseball things that you're doing, there should be a teaching moment. When coaches are assigned to certain groups, it makes it much easier for them to teach at the appropriate level. The best way for you to lead this instruction, this is probably the most important thing that we could ever lead. Avoid lines. Having kids wait in line is going to create that downtime. It's going to work against you. It's going to promote misbehavior, and it's going to make your job that much more difficult. If there is a drill or if there's an activity that's being done, there is a long line of kids that are just waiting for their turn to be taken. That is downtime. That is a huge opportunity for misbehavior to occur. It's going to work against you. It's going to make your job a lot more difficult, and you're not going to do what you really want to do, and that's coach baseball. If you have a group of 10 players in front of you, you shouldn't have one player up and 9 waiting in line to take their turn. You split that group up into 2 groups of 5, and you have 2 lines. That means double the ground balls. That means double the fly balls, double the divers, double the throws. You're having engagement. You're having engagement, you're maxing out reps, and you're creating your opportunity to teach, which means they have an opportunity to learn. When they're waiting in line, taking their turn, they're not paying attention, they're not learning, they're not doing anything that we want them to do. We have a bag full of equipment that provides all sorts of modifications. We should use that to our advantage. The equipment that 7 and 9-year-olds are using should be a little different than what the older kids are doing, and that's okay. Sometimes changing the equipment makes things a little bit more engaging for the player, depending on their skill level. Baseballs, the tennis balls, the dodgeballs, to all sorts of different hitting equipment, from wiffle balls. There's more than one way for you to create more than one group or more than one activity, and therefore you're maximizing engagement. Example that I'll provide, if you're giving a pitching instruction portion and you want to get bullpens going, you should have more than one mound set up. More than one mound means you need more than one catcher. So that right there, you already have 4 roles that are defined. And if you have a group that has more than 4 kids, instead of having them wait in line, have them get their helmets and they can stand in as a batter. It creates more value for the kids that are up on the mound to throw strikes into the strike zone. You can coach right there, and there's always something that someone can do. Engagement really is at the origin of our best teaching practices, because when you have players fully engaged in an activity, it creates the opportunity to learn, and it makes your job much easier for you. I'm going to end this video with a video demonstration that helps illustrate our point here of how we kind of use one of our teaching practices and how we modify by using equipment so that everyone is engaged within the time frame of an activity. Thanks for watching. We hope this video has helped you become just a little bit more prepared when it comes to running our type of academies. We're going to be moving towards the last one, and that's behavior management solutions.
We're going to start with 2 people that are going to be opting in for catching. Max right here, and then Ethan, you're also going to be the other catcher. So when I'm done talking, you're going to get your catcher's glove, because what you are going to be, Ethan is going to be catching the tennis ball bullpen. If you are throwing a bullpen to Max, you're going to be throwing baseballs, because, as we can tell, Max is suited enough. Now, the whole point here, when we're doing this, whether you're throwing a baseball or you're throwing a tennis ball, you should be trying to move the same exact way. Because if you try to throw a tennis ball as hard as you can, you accidentally whip it down to the ground, right? So it has to do with control. It has to do with stride. What we're going to be doing is you're going to be throwing 5 pitches, and then you're going to rotate. Catchers, go ahead down the home plate right there. Ethan, you're allowed to go get your catcher's glove, then report back. I want you 3 in a straight line right here. Griffin, you are up first. And then I want 1, 2, you 3 up on this mound. Mego, you're going to be up first over here. You're going to have 5 pitches, then rotate.